successful executions of F# in universities or in general?
So in universities. So I know of a number of universities where folks are using F#. I don't actually know of any where they're teaching an introductory course. But I know my alma mater, actually, Rice University in Houston, there's a couple of guys doing some research related to F#. There's a couple of folks at Harvard who are doing some F# programming. So it's starting to catch on among a few people at university. It obviously came out of Microsoft Research, so it has some ties into sort of the computer science research curriculum. And it's an area we're really very much looking at to try to get universities, and even outside the computer science curriculum and in the sort of sciences, the biological sciences and physics and things like this, where people are doing a lot of programming in those disciplines, but giving them a language like F# can be a really good language for them as well. So trying to get it to be something that's used there. So we're definitely interested in that.
In general?
In general, yeah. So we've had a few. We've got a few sort of large financial services institutions. Credit Suisse is one that's been using F#. They've got a few projects deployed with F# right now. We've got another quite large financial institution, but they're very secretive, and so they don't like us to use their name. But they are large and have quite a large F# investment at this stage. And then we've had a number of projects inside Microsoft, in the advertising group and in the search group. We've had uses of F# and there's sort of increasing number of those inside Microsoft as well. So one of our aims, obviously, with this first sort of product quality version is that we reduce some of the barriers that people are always a bit tentative to use pre-release versions of programming languages. Yeah. And so we're trying to remove that barrier and really give them a language that they don't have to be taking a risk on. And sort of got full support for. It's really up to the level of quality they expect from C#. So,
okay, well, thank you.
I've got another question actually, because I think a lot of cool features of F# become visible because of its functional nature, of course. But how are you working together with other teams such as C# to see whether you can bring your IDEs to the already existing languages which are not of the functional nature?
Yeah. So so in some sense, there's a strict breakdown of functional and non-functional languages is already sort of diffusing a bit, because obviously C# has brought in quite a few functional programming kind of features. C# 3.0, they had lambdas, and Link was very functional kind of thing. It actually looked a lot like Link looks a lot like the kind of thing that was right here, right? And so a lot of those barriers are sort of becoming a little bit less clear where the lines are drawn. And so obviously a lot of those ideas are actually migrating across. You are seeing functional programming ideas making their way to C#, and C# ideas flowing back in. We talked about covariance, we'll probably pull that in. So a lot of ideas from C#. And so we all work in the same group and very much trying to align those. And more ideas from F# may make their way into C# if that makes sense. But for now, F# is sort of an independent language. We can't. C# will never become as different as F#. So we won't have those things baked in at the core in the program. So F# will always sort of be a quite different language than C#, where the ideas make sense.
Because I was, for example, quite impressed with the asynchronous syntax, and I see that it could be hard to integrate it with C#, but maybe. Yeah.
Well, there's actually some efforts. There's some folks who are doing some things along these lines. They're not on any path toward being released yet, but there's a lot of interest in actually applying patterns like what we saw with async and actually making those kinds of things available in C#. And again, actually, Link is kind of a model for that. It turns out that the way that Link is built actually applies to asynchronous programming as well pretty well. So it's likely that you'll see something in CTP form or in some sort of just kind of external project soon that tries to apply some of these same ideas.
All right. Cool. Okay.